Okay, so I want you guys to imagine how the world would be reacting right now, how our media would be reacting right now, what would be trending on Twitter right now. If, let's say, a Muslim or an Arab man had attempted to assassinate two Jewish men and then told police officers, yes, I tried to kill them because they are Jewish, and then got online and wrote death to the Jews on Facebook and Telegram and for everybody else to see. I want you to just imagine that, okay? I want you to imagine the hysterical Congress running out and doing hearings because college campus protesters were saying free Palestine. I want you to imagine the laws, the new hate crime laws they would be crafting if something like that happened. Remember last year that Elise Stefanik held hearings that ultimately got these heads of these universities fired because they said that they were endangering Jewish students because kids were saying free Palestine and from the river to the sea. Where's Elise Stefanik now? Where are you, Elise? Where are you? Where are the hearings? So we get hearings and firings because some college students protested, but no hearings over murder or attempted murder? The same way that they have run to create new laws to censor speech and criticisms of the Israeli regime under the guise of fighting anti-Semitism. I want you to imagine the way the press would be covering this. I want you to imagine all the major groups, people like the ADL, getting online and screeching about how out of control this is, and Congress and the lawmakers need to do something. Where's Jonathan Greenblatt? Now I say imagine because of course none of that happened, because this man was an Israeli who tried to kill two people because he thought they were Palestinian. Yes, that's correct. Florida man, because of course, shot Israeli visitors thinking they were Palestinian. You guys, this is what I mean often when I say that racism is so stupid, like racists are really stupid. You guys, this guy shot and tried to kill two Israeli tourists. When you say Israeli tourists out loud, because he thought they were Palestinian. A Florida man was arrested and charged with 2 counts of attempted murder after shooting at a vehicle with 2 men he thought were Palestinians but turned out to be Israeli visitors. The suspect, Mordecai Brofman, was charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. And the story gets even more crazy because the guys that were shot by this psycho Zionist, they both survived, and they wrote on Facebook that they thought it was an anti-Semitic attack even though it was an anti-Palestinian attempted attack. And then he ended his Facebook post with death to Arabs. There is so much irony in this story, it actually gives you a headache. It's like a bonanza, a who's who of racists pointing at each other like the Spider-Man meme. So a racist Zionist attacks people because he thinks that they're Palestinian, and then those racists who were attacked by the other racist Zionists cheer his arrest because they think that he was an Arab who attacked them. Did you get all that? And again, there is nothing. I want you to please pay attention to the way that this is treated in the US and in the West in general versus the way that it would have been treated if the shoe were on the other foot. Imagine if somebody got on their Facebook and wrote death to the Jews. Can you imagine? There would literally be hearings in Congress the next day. There was not a single prominent Israeli or Zionist that got online and condemned this. Not a single one. When there is a crime committed by a Muslim or an Arab, the entire brown community, they don't even have to be Muslim or Arab. They could be some random guy from Pakistan, and they'll all be demanded to condemn radical Islam. But when a fanatical Zionist racist commits a hate crime against who he thinks is an Arab, crickets. There is no demands for condemnation. There's nobody running to get on Twitter to demand that somebody speak out about it. The ADL or none of the other so-called anti-hate groups are getting online to demand that the Jewish community come out and condemn this anti-Arab and anti-Palestinian racism. Where you be? Crickets. You guys, they're in Congress right now trying to pass a bill that will essentially make it illegal and roll back your First Amendment rights so that they can protect the Israeli regime from criticism. Meanwhile, where are the calls for bills to protect Arab and Palestinian people, considering that there's been multiple hate crimes against them? You remember the little boy that was murdered in Chicago by his neighbor? He was 6 years old because he was Palestinian. Remember the boys, the young boys that were in college that got shot, paralyzing one of them because they were wearing keffiyehs? Remember that? But everything is upside down world because Zionists always want to be victims. So even though there was an Arab boy who got shot because he was wearing a keffiyeh by a racist, then the ADL turns around and says that no, keffiyehs are racist. They're a hate crime, wearing them. Remember the woman in Texas that slashed the Palestinian little girl trying to kill her? Like, how many hate crimes against Palestinians are there going to be before you guys say something? Ask yourself why all the usual suspects that love to use anything they can for propaganda purposes can't speak out against this. If this exact story had happened the other way around and the perpetrators had been Palestinians hunting for Jews the way this guy was hunting for Palestinians, you better fucking believe there would be every single member of the House and the Senate making a copy and pasted statement. All of our Congress's AIPAC handlers would have written them a tweet and they would have all put it out in unison. Trump would be on Truth Social talking about it. Elon Levy would be in Mehdi Hassan's comments being like, "Where are you, Mehdi?" But alas, this anti-Arab racism, these hate crimes, this Islamophobia goes unchecked. When are people going to start standing up for the human rights of the Palestinians and holding these monsters accountable?